What's up, everybody? Trinity here. Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. Here we are again today, joined by my guest, Chillmonger. My man,
Hey,
we are going to be talking about Hawkeye, Episode 6. How are you doing today, Chill?
I am doing absolutely positively cool. It's this finale episode. I'm gonna miss those thumbnails, seeing me shoot that arrow. Which one of you was Kate? Which one of us was Clint in your thumbnail?
I'm the Kate. I'm the Kate.
I'm happy.
Yeah. I'm definitely the Kate here. And that's okay. I'll be happy with that. You just handed me your mantle.
Is that what happened? You're in my home, okay? You're a guest. That's what's happening.
Yes. So I guess just starting off, I can see you've went all Ant-Man on us. It looks like you probably had one of those Pym arrows shot at you.
Yeah.
Getting started, what did you think of this episode and this series overall as we got the finale here?
It's actually the same answer. It was a great episode as far as like accomplishing things, and just a great series overall that accomplished things, made me interested in things I wouldn't have known I'd be interested in, and had plenty of surprises. And then the negativity is they don't know how guns work. Like that's it. It continued. It persisted for the third straight episode. I've come on here on Second Street Marvel, and I've complained that it's convenient that sometimes they have guns and they're shooting, and other times they're not.
Definitely.
Tracksuit, especially the tracksuit guys. Yeah.
Yes, it does seem like there's been a lot of convenience throughout this series. Certainly, like maybe perhaps like Jack Duquesne all of a sudden just getting released in time for the party.
Yeah.
And he was framed, man. You know what? I've been trying to say that he was innocent. Nobody listened to me. Nobody listened to me.
It was a good little swerve. And then he just said, it's time to dance. I'm going to start being a hero. And he's stabbing and slicing. And I'm going, I like this guy. He won me over. He won me over when he was in the street. And he said, it's time to fight. This is what I do. I'm like, I want to see more of you, swordsman.
Yeah, definitely. I think they got the right actor who could bring the right kind of, I guess you could say maybe attitude to the role, because a lot of, like, he did kind of seem like he was a little suspect at first, and then you kind of see, like, I think he's just a useful idiot, and then you're still kind of suspect, and then, like, he brings him around, like, all right, he's not so bad. And if I'm not mistaken, I think in the comics he did something similar as well, where he was, like, kind of a villain, and then he, like, had a change of heart, and wasn't quite so villainous. And I think that was all within, I think that was even in, like, the original Avengers stuff. I remember reading when obviously we learned about, like, his backstory and everything in the comic books. But yeah, I thought the episode was pretty good. As a finale, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there was a lot that went down in this episode, and there was just so much crammed in there, and it's not like it was like a super fast-paced episode or anything either. I think it was well paced and everything. I feel like I feel like we're missing something here out of it for sure. But I don't know. I guess we'll see as time goes on. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people kind of put maybe a little too much emphasis on with all these series anyway on Disney Plus, is like they're like kind of like this bigger thing, when it seems like they're all really just a little bit smaller, just stories kind of expanding the world instead of doing big world-changing things here, I guess. And
What a metaphor for Kingpin, because Vincent D'Onofrio is not that big, but they kind of enlarged him. He was definitely wearing lifts. He was definitely being shot in a, I don't know, maybe there's a device that can make you 20% larger, because shoot, Marvel knew what they were doing.
yeah, definitely. I thought it was very good, and I like how Vincent, he still came off kind of big and menacing, and like you don't mess with him. Even though they also didn't make him seem too overly, how would you say, hype. Like, he's still human, you know. I thought it was very good.
I mean, hold on a minute there, Trinity. How many times was he hit with something, exploded by something? Apparently he gets shot at the very end. I don't know if that's still true. I don't think he's actually dead. We know better. On-screen deaths, off-screen deaths are not deaths.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
it's actually it's actually a coward's way out. If Marvel, you're waiting to see what the reception is, aren't you? You are cowards. You get rid of him or you keep him, but you let us know. And maybe that's what it was missing. Maybe you didn't have the closure of the Echo storyline because this was here to make Echo her own little character. Maybe that's why it doesn't have the je ne sais quoi. Something's missing.
Right, right. Yeah, agreed.
Mm.
And I kind of think that's like I said, I think that's kind of what they're doing here anyways with a lot of these series is actually I mean all of them so far that I can think of where they're like it seems like they're serving the MCU as a whole as opposed to necessarily just what's happening in the story, which I think is fine for these shows. But when it comes to a movie like The Eternals, I don't think it really worked out where it was serving the MCU as a whole, and I don't really feel like it served itself quite so well. Where I think these shows do while doing the expansion of these of this universe as well. But yeah, I also don't agree that I also don't think that he's dead either. Again, I think it was something. Yeah, I think it was on Twitter. Was that you that shared that or somebody else about not believing that Fisk is dead until we actually see it.
Reefer.
Okay, was it Wayne?
Wayne
Yeah.
said it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like absolutely. I mean, like in things in especially like movies, comic stuff. Like yes, you have to show us. Yes, you have to tell us because we don't know otherwise. Kind of like I was saying about man that you just keep shrinking more and more. But like I was saying about the Doctor Strange with the Sorcerer Supreme thing, everybody's like, "Oh, sure, he's a Sorcerer Supreme," and it's like, well, that's never been said, And yes, they have to say it, and for all you know, like you don't even really know what the Sorcerer Supreme is or it entails because they haven't really told us in the MCU that much. And so just to have that mantle switch over from the ancient one to Doctor Strange, like I said, they've got to show it. They've got to say it. Here we've seen him get shot. We've seen him get blown up. We didn't see him get hauled off to the hospital. We didn't see him get buried. We didn't see none of that. So yeah, absolutely, he's out there. He's out there.
Exactly, and that's a coward's
Yeah.
way out. How did you like his acting? His performing was pretty good, and he carried that first part when he was chit chatting with
Yeah.
Eleanor. I loved him. It was like straight out of. I didn't watch all of Netflix. You didn't watch all of Netflix either,
Mm-mm.
right? Yeah, but like the parts I've seen, it was consistent, and he's menacing, and I'm like, hey, he fits right in, and I was good with his performance.
Right. Right. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
So
Now
we don't really know what happened to Fisk. Obviously he's still out there, but what happened to the Shrunken Bros?
with the owl took him on. Yeah. Good luck getting that. I love how you could still hear them in their miniature voice.
Yeah.
As funny as it is, I am kind of worried about what happens to them. And this is one of those things that they could explore or completely ignore. And we're really not really entitled to what happens with these. Because it felt like at Christmas when they were home at Clint Barton's home, there was no concern about those little bros in the truck. They don't
Right.
care. It is over. There's no, we had a tracker on them. It's gone. It's finished. It's finito.
Yeah.
They've got to. Yeah, there's nothing they can do about it either. Those guys are dead. It's sad. But with Eleanor and Kingpin, do you remember how Yelena had like footage of that conversation? The thing is, when Kate Bishop viewed it, the parts that she viewed, that she had when she finally got to showing Eleanor, was not sufficient enough for Eleanor to like say what she said. Eleanor doesn't know what else Kate. All you saw was this video. If I'm Eleanor and I'm an evil villain, I'm gonna think of all the ways I can lie to justify that conversation that I had with Kingpin. But I need to know everything because I could, f up and admit to more. And Eleanor wasn't. She just kind of caved in too easily for my believing. I would prefer more of her to be like, who told you this? What else? She was just kind of accepting that Kate Bishop knew, and you can't do that.
Right. And I mean, maybe part of it could be because she knows how clever her daughter is and everything. But yeah, I mean that.
Oh no! Just a few days ago. Hold on. No. Just a few days ago, Jack was set up by. Well, it was Kate, but Eleanor did it because Eleanor was under the impression that okay, this is how much Kate knows. So it's not like she thought Kate was overcompensating. She knew everything Kate knew.
Right. Yeah, and yeah, I'm not really for sure. I mean, I guess I don't have an explanation for that, but I definitely do think, like you're saying though, she would be a little bit more sinister. Like you've been doing all this bad stuff anyway. You're worried about lying to your daughter just a little bit more when you've been doing it this whole time. Yeah, certainly. Let's get here into the chat. See what everybody's saying real quick. I see we've got Jedi Jen in the building. So those Reefer Man reviews. Mike Porter, my man. Let's see. Okay, what's everybody saying here? Let me get here to the chats. Oh man, of course. I don't have my chat set for. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the wrong one. There we go. Just finished the episode 2 minutes ago. Nice. Reefer Man says 9.5 out of 10 for me. What a great episode. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Again, how much how much did Yelena really want to kill Clint Barton? That's just another question. Got to, and at least this time she goes, "I'm here to kill you, but I gotta ask you a question first." Oh,
yeah. I guess that's why she didn't snipe him at the roof. She had a question to ask.
Right.
Problem solved.
I mean, she could have asked it the first time. She could have just landed on that rooftop and be like, "Hey, whoa, I'm calm down. I'm gonna kill you, but before I kill you, I just want to ask you a question. Is that okay? Is that okay? You can keep scoping. You can keep scoping out that apartment."
She's calling him Clint Barton the whole time.
Right. I know who you are, Clint Barton. Reefer Man says, "Where did the Tracksuit Mafia get swords all of a sudden?" Jack was fighting people with swords, wasn't he? I don't remember. Was he? Did they have swords? I don't think so. I don't think they did.
No.
I think they just had weapons and stuff, and he was just sitting there I think they had bats. I think most of them had bats and stuff like that is what it was. But it could be wrong too. Yeah, could be wrong too.
Yeah, if they did have swords, that was affected by Hawkeye's magnetic thing.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And speaking of which, the arrows, I was waiting for it too when they used the Pym arrow, because you notice the last time they used it, they did show the arrow and it had the blue tip. So when they were doing the arrows this time, I was paying attention. I even paused at the part where they showed all the arrows, but they were making it. And you notice this time they had the Pym technologies in red. I was like, oh, they're shrinking something this time. So what's it going to be? And honestly, it didn't seem like it was really anything major. They just did it in one situation that I think really helped out. It didn't seem as major as when they made the other thing giant, the arrow giant.
And he says that he gets it from Scott. Doesn't he mention that?
Yeah. Yep.
It's not from Hank Pym. I don't know what the hell. Scott knows the formula now. He must be really close with Hope if he's allowed to know how to do that.
Yes. Ooh. And speaking of Hope, I wanted to ask you something, because this was something that I was kind of thinking about as we got to the end of this episode, and obviously we found out about Agent 19. I was wondering, in this universe, was Hope Van Dyne ever part of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No.
You don't think so?
No. I don't want it to be either. No.
I wonder, because obviously we can see it, because okay, why would you want it not to be?
Because they've never pointed to any of it. There's no, when you said that, I'm thinking of clues and reasons why, and I can't think of any. So no. Same with do you want Hope to be a Skrull this whole time? No, because you never alluded to it. I've never was suspicious of her this way. So it would be forced in.
Maybe so. But would it be any more forced than making Laura Barton Mockingbird?
Yeah, it would be more forced, because she's unknown. All we know is she is a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, or rather she's a S.H.I.E.L.D. secret. She was part of it. So it makes sense to me. It does work. I am looking at her back history and saying, look, she was a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent this whole time. Perfectly works out.
Well, and I also asked because if you take a look back at what was it? Was it after Civil War? No, it wasn't after Civil War. Was it after Iron Man 2? When I think it was after Winter Soldier. It was after Winter Soldier when Kobe Smulders, Maria Hill, went to work for Stark Industries.
Yeah, it was Winter Soldier.
And I feel like it's just the same thing when they put Black Widow in with in Stark Industries as well, when Fury had them do that. Is it possible that maybe Hope was actually a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent? She was actually working with S.H.I.E.L.D. and since she had the in with Pym, or in this case Cross Industries, in this case, that they used her to help infiltrate and everything, because we did see she actually went to her father. And I know I'm building a big theory here. Went to her father in the Ant-Man movie because of different things going on that we know. You know, obviously Hank Pym don't get along with Shield. She didn't really get along with her father, but if she's an agent, she sees her father's stuff being used, and she still don't want it to fall into Shield hands, which is very well going to if things happen the way Cross wants them to. And the only reason I ask all this is because in the What If series, there's actually one of the episodes where, and I as far as I know, you still didn't watch that series, but in one of the episodes, they actually had where Nick Fury's big week got ruined, and it was by Hank Pym. And one of the things that came out in that episode was that Janet was actually not Janet, but Hope was actually working for Shield, and that she was an agent of Shield, and she actually died in the field. And when she died is a particular interest as well. But they did that in there too, so it made me think like, and it kind of made me wonder: was Hope working for them in this universe? And you know, because we obviously see that there are the other agents that they've used to infiltrate these kinds of things. And that's what made me ask.
The defense I have against it, or the prosecution against it, is that Hope or the Winter Soldier thing, Natasha revealed all of the papers, and any secret that Shield had, any Shield operation, is known. So I don't think Hope is a Shield agent. If it's after 2014, maybe she became a Shield agent. But the first Ant-Man movie happened in 2015, so.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, there's just a lot that really goes into it. Like when thinking about, because I was thinking about like it's possible, but like, and I only ask because we see all the stuff they're kind of doing there, like with the Laura Barton stuff and everything. It's like I don't know. But then, what do you think is going to come out of the Mockingbird reveal, if anything?
Is that what Agent 19 is? That's the Mockingbird? Yeah. Oh, shit. You know, I Googled Marvel Agent 19, and I was like, nothing's popping up. I guess I should have Googled harder. Yeah, I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy. I'm just finding out now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wouldn't for sure either, because I'm like, what are they going to do? I mean, like, because it does seem like, is there much to do? But they wouldn't, I don't feel like they would do it for no reason. You know what I mean? That's not...
No. The reason why they're doing it is because she is of the opposite gender of male, and those are an underrepresented or an in-demand, you know, people that we got to prop up.
I feel like you're saying that they did this because woke.
Yeah, right. That's my favorite word. WOKE.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, obviously we're opening the multiverse here anyway. That's what, well, not we, they are, and that's just what makes me ask all these questions, because it seems like there's just so much going on here with all of these things. It just brings up so many questions when it comes to that, and I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't just show that just to show that. Aside from the fact that obviously Clint Barton needed a woman to lean on to help save his ass. Oh, did I just imply it too? Dang it.
We are on, we're on Santa's naughty list.
Oh man, you're right. Let's get back into the chat here. Jedi Jen says, like I said, Trinity, you were the first one I thought of when they said Wong was the Sorcerer Supreme. Yes, I was right. I've been, you know, I want to brag about this as much as I can, but I was right. I know there's people out there trying to interject other little things. You know, the people are now like, well, you didn't say it was Wong though. I'm like, no, I just said that Doctor Strange isn't the Sorcerer Supreme, and in the MCU, and that's that. And people want to push back, but I was right. Face it.
Yeah, look what Adam just posted. They just dropped the Multiverse of Madness trailer.
Oh, did they?
Adam, is it the same one from the Spider-Man film, or is it added? Oh, who's gonna remember? Actually, I'm asking the wrong question. I don't know. I'll check it out after this.
Yeah. I'll have to. Yeah, no. That's the right question. That's the right question. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Oh wait, no. We didn't do that right. There we go. Just drop Multiverse of Madness trailer. Yeah. Okay, where were we at? Mike Porter says, I'm fed well in the MCU. I'm on my third helping of No Way Home. Someone passed me episode 6 of Hawkeye. Who made the Shang-Chi? What? It's wonderful. Eternals, a little well done, but still delicious. I got you, Mike. I got you. Refresh still has the munchies. Yeah, Black Widow for dessert, says Jedi. Be careful saying that in some circles. They might think that you're implying something.
She's a schneck.
Yeah, a schneck. Thought the swords were convenient. Yeah, and again, I'll have to go back and watch. I felt like they had baseball bats and stuff, and just stuff that they kind of picked up to swing. But they may have, but they did also all arrive in the trucks and everything too. But why they would arm themselves with a bunch of swords would be a little bit silly. He said he would have to ask Scott about making the bros bigger. Yeah. Oh, is that what he said? I remember. Okay, I thought it was. I don't think that is what he said when they mentioned Scott. I can't remember. I'll have to watch that one again. But I do remember him mentioning Scott. But I thought it was about just how the formula works or something, or if they had more of it.
No, it was right after they were miniaturized.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was before that. I thought it was when they were making the arrows that he mentioned Scott. But I think you might be right there.
That was a cool scene though, the arrow making kind of montage that they had.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing I was sitting there kind of wondering, like, okay, so did Clint always make all these arrows himself? Obviously, right now he don't have the resources.
Yeah, that's what it means.
But I mean, obviously he used to make some. I'm sure he didn't always have Shield or Tony or the Avengers there to make them, but I don't know. I did think that was pretty cool though. I did think that was pretty cool seeing them making all of them, and but it just kind of seems like when he made a point about the trick arrows before, like, okay, but that seems a little bit pointless if you can just make more. Mike Porter says Laura Barton never leaves the farm except for Tony's funeral. There's a reason she's a homebody, almost like a home arrest. Oof, dang. You know what, Mike Porter? I like that you mentioned that, but maybe it's not a home arrest. Maybe there's something more there. Because I mean, he did say that, you know, Hawkeye mentioned that he managed to get Nick to let them keep it off the records. Maybe, and we see Nick Fury show up there. Maybe they actually have a base there or something larger that's there that's secret. That's I never even thought about that. But yeah. Mike Porter says she worked at Pym Industries. Oh yeah. Hope. Yeah. Multiverse of Madness. It's the same. All right. Yeah, he said it's the same. It's the same. All right. Well, so now I don't have to look at the bootleg version that I took on my phone anymore.
Yeah. Wait, did you really?
Yeah, I was sitting there going through it and everything, all like, yeah. I was Eric Vossing it up.
I've never done that before. That works.
Yeah, I do it like all the time on like the only thing that sucks is you get all this video and I'm not one of those people that's I don't know, from Bangladesh or Singapore or wherever they upload all the bootleg videos. I'm not one of those channels, so I can't really use the footage I get. But I notice on my homepage, oh boy, they sure got the full movie uploaded on there, and they suggest it. They're trying to suggest all these No Way Home spoiler videos to me. At least I've already seen it.
Awesome.
Yes. I did too. Like I don't even, like, usually when I open up my phone, like on the YouTube app, I don't even, like, the home screen comes on. I usually just hit the subscription thing anyway. I'm not worried about all the other stuff, but occasionally it happens. But like when I open it up, I see that, I'm like, nah, man, this, like, come on, YouTube, do better, or get your algorithm to do better anyway.
It's a big conversation. When is spoiler talk okay for something you're enthusiastic about? $600 million for the opening weekend. I feel like everyone who wanted to see it saw it, and by Monday, it is open season.
I kind of feel like it's open season as soon as you've done seen it. The only thing you got to do is make sure that you let people know that you're talking spoilers.
Are we talking YouTube videos, thumbnails, Twitter? What do you mean?
Well, that's a good.
I
I
was
guess.
thinking of Twitter when I said what I said. But also, we do live in a world where muted words are an option.
Yeah.
Sorry, I asked you a question now.
No,
I'm
no, no.
answering
You're
myself.
go on.
But like, we can use muted words to make sure that Spider-Man, No Way Home, Andrew Garfield, and that's what I did for 7 days. And then when I saw the movie, I went to my muted words and I erased it. If you complain about spoilers as the complainer, you know, I want you to have a great time and I want you to see things and be fresh. But if it's as avoidable as typing the word Spider-Man and then typing it again with the hyphen in the middle, so you got all your bases covered, if it's simple as that, it's on you at this point. We're in spoiler culture, like for year number 5 at least, when spoilers became such a heavy topic. There's the antidote for Twitter. It's muted words.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and honestly, I think when it comes to this one, like if you've been on the internet and partaking in any of it leading up to this film anyway, you kind of know what's going on in the film, and it's not really going to be spoiled for you if you've been paying attention to all that stuff. To be quite honest, because everything, it's like, you know, I thought Josh over the Den of Nerds was kidding when he first talked about it. I think after some of the reviews came out, you know, people obviously he was talking to, you know, said basically like everything that we heard was true, and it's like, and I was like what everything? We're like, we heard a lot, and you know, you could see the movies like, yeah, it was like there was a few outlandish things that probably were discussed that just weren't even in the film at all, but pretty much everything, it's in there. It's
Daredevil,
yeah.
that surprise was in there. Yeah, that was cool. John Campea ruined that one for me. I would not have believed all the rumors if John Campea hadn't posted that picture. But once he did that, I'm like, oh, I guess he's
in. Dude, Toby's dick was in it too.
yeah.
And I'm sure John Campea was
delighted. Who
likes
that joke? Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. I can see her being more than Hawkeye's wife, says Mike Porter about Linda Cardellini. Yeah, absolutely. I think the only thing now is like if they did do something with that character, you know, in the future, like would they just do something past, or are they going to do future stuff? I mean, you know, she's just like Jeremy Renner. She's not getting any younger either, and putting her like in an action film, something like that. Like, I don't know. But they could still have her doing stuff kind of in the background, just kind of like we've seen her doing in the first place, I suppose. Kind of that man in the chair.
Ned. Yeah, I get the reference on it. Took him a while.
Mike Porter says, here's the deal. I feel like if 2 actors are in a third of a movie, it's not a spoiler. It's part of the movie until I saw it for a 3rd time yesterday, and a guy in the theater lost his mind. Yeah. I think everybody was doing that when all the Spider-Man came out in the first place.
Yeah, and I saw your tweet about that. Yes, there are casuals out there. I conversated with people, Mike, like, are you a casual fan? What do you think? What do you know about the movie? And I won't confirm or deny to these people. I'll just be like, curious, what do you think about the plot? And guys were like, oh, I think like all 3 Spider-Men are in it. So like they knew enough, but it wasn't actualized until they're going to go ahead and see the film. We are a minority, and we got to remind ourselves that there's an audience of just normies.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. Yeah, there's obviously going to be people surprised altogether, like you say, who aren't normies, and plenty of people who even are that just probably kind of hear stuff from their friends and stuff like that as well. So yeah, it's really hard to say, because I mean that's the same thing with like any of this whole nerd fandom and everything. You know, when people get outraged over stuff, everybody acts like, oh, it's this vocal minority. Oh, it's this, you know, all this stuff, and it's like when it comes down to it, that's really all it is anyway. Because a lot of people don't really pay attention to all this nerd stuff. They're not listening to what's going on with the production of these movies and what actors are saying what and what producers are saying what leading up to the film. They just want to watch the movie.
Yeah. They don't know that China did not have a release date for Spider-Man No Way Home.
Right.
They just said, oh, it's the 2nd biggest gross since Endgame. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Reefer Man says, when I saw No Way Home, the audience was silent for most of the movie except for me. Really? Well, see, where I went, they were loud. They were loud plenty of times throughout, but quiet most of the time generally. Nothing distracting other than the thing that we're not supposed to do in the movie theater, and Martin Scorsese definitely doesn't like, and that's standing up, hooting and hollering and clapping and making a calamity, just like Spider-Man in the movie theater.
I know something that we're not supposed to do in the movie theater that Pee Wee Herman likes. Oh, if you got it. All right, got it.
Yes, or
I thought you wouldn't get it. It took you a while.
At least not by yourself. At least not by yourself. And if you're gonna do that, popcorn tub, hole in the bottom, you should be fine. Nobody will know.
That is some sound advice. A little bit too good advice.
Your partner, and I'm gonna phrase that correctly as to not offend. Your partner just aggressively likes digging for popcorn.
We got
stop. Yes, let's do.
So Hawkeye. Listen, Kate showed the video to Eleanor for Too Short. She flipped out, and Eleanor just okay. I don't know if I would call the cops on my mom. Kate is supposed to be a hero, and to do that and to go to those lengths to rat on your mom, I don't. She kind of is the reason why you are the person you are. She said she did all of the stuff to support you, and damn, you're already turning on your mom like that. And where was Clint? Why didn't Clint say something like, "No, we just got rid of Kingpin. Eleanor is the next top dog. You don't want to take her. You don't want to make an enemy out of her. You saw what happened with swordsmen. People can come out of jail because they're rich, just like that. Why would you make an enemy out of your mom?" Where was Hawkeye? Where was that conversation? I'm mad at Eleanor. I'm mad at Kate for ratting on Eleanor.
Yeah, I just don't. There's a lot that goes into that. Obviously, there's familial issues in the first place. We know that she didn't get along with her mom the best in the first place. So I can't say that was out of left field. Was it wrong? I don't know. She's supposedly the good guy. But then, I mean, I feel like this would go into a conversation of me talking about the police and the authorities and some of those kinds of things, which is probably not where I want to go in this conversation. But
I'll jump over to the next.
But no, I think that I mean, should she have been snitching out her mom? I mean, her mom's pretty much gonna be exposed and found out anyway, and she's gonna have to deal with Kingpin and all that stuff in the first place. I mean, are the authorities really that big of a threat to her at that point? I mean, I think that's probably even the worst thing, because obviously we know the kind of corruption that goes around in the city with somebody like Mayor Fisk at the helm.
Yeah, that guy's gonna run for mayor easily. I could see them doing that.
Totally.
Or president.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, did she necessarily I think there was just a lot going on. She didn't know how to handle it. Like I said, calling the cops, is that the right thing? Like, I don't know.
Oh, hey, we can argue about doing the right thing or the wrong thing. I just mean, like, you didn't have to do a thing. You could have been neutral on the whole topic without.
She didn't have to call the cops. The cops would have probably showed up and been there.
Yes, and then whatever happened would have happened.
Right. Yeah, and that's true. Yeah.
So you know what my gripe was with Kate Bishop and Yelena is they're talking to each other chit chatty, but there came a point where Kate kept getting in her way, and I go, this is about where Yelena's patience should be over. She kicked her hard in the ribs, but you don't just like walk past her with your back turned towards her like she's not going to come back after you. She did that maybe the first time, maybe we could excuse it, that your guard was down and you just feel like, oh, Kate won't chase after me. But it happened a lot of times. And even the fight, it was never like a strong. Yelena never disabled her. Yeah, she never put her down where you were unable to be a threat to me anymore. I'm going. Even when the elevator, it's like, I'm just going to stand here in the elevator. And then Kate Bishop just jumps on the elevator, which continues my complaints of elevator usage here on Hawkeye. Do they not know how it works? The show needs to know that when you walk in front of an elevator, the sensors will go, oh, door's going to reopen, and that is supposed to happen, and it should have delayed her longer. That was the point. She was trying to delay the kill. They should have filmed that, and it said, "Oh, look, the door's opening." Now, what else happens? She said they were on the 65th floor and they were going down to 12 because it said 12. So you went on 12. Fine. But when Kate Bishop into the elevator ride starts pressing all the buttons, I saw the buttons. They were not 65 floors. They were not 65 buttons. I think it was in the 30s. And whatever buttons you press, the only ones that will light up are the ones below, because you are not, let's say she was at floor number 40, okay, for example. If you're at floor 40 and you just came from 65, 41, 42, 43, no matter how much times you press them, they won't light up. When she lit them up like a Christmas tree, like Elf Will Ferrell did, remember in that scene? When that happened, all of the buttons were lighting up with no logic. Only the buttons below. Elevator logic, guys. Get on it. Please, Marvel. It's for people like me. Is that a nitpick? It's a nitpick.
That's okay, though. That's okay. Because believe me, there's plenty of things, I mean, maybe we should be nitpicking about, right? Like how Ned is all of a sudden a magic user. Conveniently.
That one, bro, I don't know. You know what I tried to explain myself? Like, Doctor Strange had a sling ring, and since he's a powerful wizard, there was a little bit of magic still in there. It wasn't Ned, it was the sling ring. If he was using a beginner novice sling ring, then nothing would have came out.
Maybe so. I don't know. I like just the convenience itself. Like real, like when that happened in the show, I was like, no, no. And I did too. I gave the disgusting too, and I was like, and I even went, and I continued on. I didn't go make rant videos about it, but I went like when I see it, I'm like, oh man.
You know, I almost was gonna watch a rant video about Spider-Man, but I said, I'm having such a good time, I'm not gonna do it.
I was gonna say, are there rant videos already? I'm sure that, like, I already see.
No, there's rant videos saying, look, this is how you do it, Marvel, because he's a white character.
I think that's all the.
I was gonna be like, what are they?
I think that's all the videos that are going around. Like, oh, this is the narrative now. Yeah.
Agenda.
Yeah,
narrative.
it gets a little bit old. Yeah.
I'm giving it airtime by talking about it, so I probably
no. That's okay. That's okay. Let's see. Reefer Man says, when I saw No Way Home, the audience was silent for most of the movie except for me. Oh, okay, here we go. My girlfriend says she hasn't seen the preview for it yet, which is awesome because I'm taking her and our son next Sunday. All right, nice. That's my girlfriend. She and Andrew Garfield movies, but I don't want because I want to spoil it for her. Yeah. The guy yelled at the top of his lungs when Andrew showed up. He yelled, "What? I can't believe this! Let's go!" And this is on Tuesday. That's funny. Yeah, that's funny.
Mike, how many times have you seen that film by now? Shoot.
Yeah. What's this, Mike Porter? You are not allowed to go to the self-service pumps in the theater. Mike Porter, did you pull a Trinity? Did trouble find you? Did they come up and be like, "Sir, you can't use that fountain"? Did they escort you out?
If you pull a Trinity, butter finds you. Think about that for a minute. If you pull a Trinity, butter will find you. That's very adult. Naughty list for sure.
Mike Porter says, it was wild, Jen, because I don't know how it didn't get spoiled for them. It was genuine and spontaneous. It was wonderful. Reminds me how on the money and great the MCU is. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they definitely pulled it all out for Spider-Man. I love the nitpicks Chill has. Yeah, absolutely. There you go.
Yeah.
Mike Porter says, who asked the fandom to be quiet about the rumored characters that are in the third of the movie and get it to work? Kevin Feige can. Yeah. Kevin Feige's the man. In Feige we trust. I wouldn't have known anything about the movie without him being subjected to me listening to these YouTube channels. He's a huge normie. Nice. I think Ned has magic in his family. Yeah. We know. He's probably related to what's his name? The guy that got killed in the Eternals, and the guy's a robot.
Or an android or a wizard.
Yeah.
An alien.
Mike Porter said, my wife is Suzanne. She does however agree that the two Spider-Man should be marketed. I think at this point, I'm guessing probably after this weekend, they will be. After or either that or going into Christmas, either tomorrow or Friday. I think they're gonna start billing it with all the Spider-Man in it. I think they're gonna give it back. But if not, definitely after the weekend.
Yeah.
If not, definitely after the weekend. What about Feige?
And nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Just show the three of them swinging and landing on the statue, and also show that it is Toby and it is Andrew unmasked. If you give me those two things happening, that's still not ruining the movie, but it's getting that image in people's heads because they're gonna need something to get them in the theaters.
Right. Yeah. Spider-Man has landed in theaters. Yeah. And it's when you see them all landing.
When does Toby and when does Andrew do press?
Yeah, I don't know. That's very a good question because I know obviously everybody's been kind of asking that same thing too. Like, when can I do press? What are they gonna do? And all that stuff. It was a good question because obviously they were denying everything up to the point. Those liars in Hollywood. How dare they lie to us? It just goes to show you can't trust them. When we want to know secrets and leaks to a movie, they need to be honest with us, not dishonest.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, exactly. Thank you. Keep lying, guys. Keep it up. I love how I get bigger and smaller and bigger and smaller.
I know. I'm like, yeah.
It's those PIM particles, bro.
Yeah. So you got the dual citizenship to Canada and Wakanda, and access to all the PIM particles.
Yep. The quantum realm is just outside. That's why I never turned the camera that direction. Burp Minded is in the chat. He made me the channel of the year.
Nice. Hell yeah.
I watched one of the other people he recommended, which was Real Shift. I don't know if you've heard of that channel or not, but I checked him out and he was talking about Spider-Man. It wasn't an angry video. It was more so just like a video talking about diversity, and I'm like, I agree with this completely.
Mike Porter says my wife is. Oh no. What about Feige punking DC with Flashpoint? Yeah, that was kind of. When I seen that in the movie, I was like, oh dang man, they went there.
Oh, yeah, that might not have been by accident.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, I was like, dang man, like, yeah, they went there, and it was on purpose too. It was totally on purpose.
Nothing's like that's an accident.
Yeah,
they know better. What's wrong with these guys? Icarus kept on being Superman, and they mentioned Batman, and now they're going to Flash. What the heck is happening?
Yeah. Very, very interesting. But so, where do you think? I guess getting back into Hawkeye, where do we go from here?
He never called her Hawkeye towards the ending. The image showed up, so she's not Hawkeye. It's like I said with the Kingpin death. They're being cowards and they're not committing to a final thing. Even with the end credit scene when they went to Vormir and they just kind of showed the planet there. I mean, like, what is that supposed to mean? Is Natasha back or not? What did you think when you saw the Red Skull floating at the top of the mountain in Vormir?
What? Wait. What are you talking about? What?
In the end credit scene of Hawkeye's finale, the Vormir scene.
Did I miss that?
Trinity. They have end credit scenes now. And I'm not talking about the play, the post credits. Did you move your mouse all the way to the end?
No, I didn't. You know what? I didn't even see that, and I didn't even skip through any of it. No. That's weird. Okay. You know what?
I don't know if you should do a live reaction or not, but you're searching it.
Yeah, I am. Like,
I lied. It did not happen. It's fault. I lied.
I'm saying, I'm like, dude, I watched that whole. Yes, I sat there and I watched because I just wanted to hear you say, I can do this all day.
You know what I wanted you to say? I wanted you to be like, yeah, I saw that. I definitely saw that. I wanted to see if you would like lie about it, but you don't lie. Trinity is legit, guys. He does not pretend for the sake of it. I could see. You know what I would have done? Completely lied, and then I'd pull it up on my Disney Plus on another tab, let you talk about it And then by the time I, see the whole thing, then I'd have enough to say. That's what I would have done.
Oh man, yeah.
But I'm sorry, I interrupted you just for the lame ass joke. But what I think will come afterwards? Okay, she's not Hawkeye. They didn't commit to that. Kingpin's not dead. They didn't commit to that one either. They left the possibilities open, endlessly open. We don't know if Eleanor is going to face any time, so that's a potential villain that could return. We could either get a season 2 of Hawkeye. We could get, if Kate Bishop is really, really, really successful, get Haley Steinfeld on something else. I see the relationship between Yelena and Kate, and is it Young Avengers? If they do a kitty team, including Wiccan, including Hulkling, including the Bradley kid, not Eli, Isaiah.
Mm-hmm.
Not Isaiah, Eli. It would be Eli Bradley. I can see those guys all teaming up. Maybe even Kamala Khan. There's just open possibilities, and it's on purpose. And it's, should we fail? Plan A. Should we succeed? Plan B.
Yeah. I'm just kind of curious what's going on with all of this too. I mean, because like they left it very open ended with all of that stuff, and I do think we're getting a lot of that too. Like obviously we see a lot of the Young Avengers being introduced here into the MCU through these shows and everything. So yeah, I mean, very very interested to see where all that's going to. Oh,
Yep. The 10-year anniversary for Miles variant.
All right.
Cool cover.
Which what book is that?
It's called Ms. Marvel Beyond the Limit. It's a 5-part limited series.
Oh, okay.
Which, if you do a 5-part limited series, it means that you don't believe in her long enough to do an ongoing. Let's be real.
Right. Yeah.
But diversity.
Right. Yeah, and just like we were talking about last week with that stuff. Like if you want to put the new characters in there, you got to do more than a 5-issue run with a good writer.
From an unknown novelist named, what's her name? Samira. Actually, there's no name on the variants. Put Brian Michael Bendis. Put Jonathan Hickman. Put Donny Cates. Put Al Ewing. These are top tier name quality authors in the Marvel Comics world. Put them on a comic and it will sell. Give unknowns these little characters like Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel is not going to blow up the way you want her to. All right. Sorry about that, but I had to vent that thing out. Young Avengers are coming, and they could be featured in the Avengers movie. They could be featured in their own show, and we're really testing the waters. I feel like Marvel should have enough confidence in their ability to create content after WandaVision, Loki, Falcon, and this, that what they do live action is like is appreciated by fans. It satisfies the fans. I can't say great, but it does satisfy.
Yeah. The who will lead the new Avengers if that is what they are doing, which very much looks like it.
Sam, because he's in the Disney Plus banner in the middle.
Who? Oh,
Falcon.
okay.
I'm not calling him Captain America.
You think he'll lead the Young Avengers?
Oh, the Young Avengers. No. The Young Avenger leader, that's got to be Kamala Khan, because she'll be the first with her own show. No, I'm wrong. Kate Bishop. Oh, my bad. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have the answer to that.
Okay. And see, I was thinking Spider-Man, just according to what they did in this last movie, and kind of what he was for, wanting to help all the villains and everything, not wanting to send them off to be killed in their own universe, which by all means, like what's stressing the movie, it's not his problem.
Yeah, he really is a leader right now. He is his own man. He has no one, no fucking aunt, no kids, no one, no Happy Hogan. He is by himself. So yeah, lead somebody.
Yeah,
please.
Yeah. And and by all means, now that you mentioned that, wanted to bring up that as well, is that while he I just lost it.
Okay, I'll say this. We said Spider-Man like 30 times right now, and not one of you thought about Miles Morales for leading the Young Avengers. We're talking about Peter Parker.
Yes. But yeah, I feel like I set that up there because obviously, like even with some of the other stuff, like I still feel Spider-Man's an Avenger. They just don't know that he's Peter Parker. So I mean, I think he would still have some sort of a role there, and then obviously kind of leading into other stuff. Like if he was going to lead the Avengers, I could see that happening. Like the Young Avengers in this case. Not really for sure where everything is going to go on the big Avengers side of things, but yeah, certainly we got Captain America there to hold down that team.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's the eye roll. I can't believe that they look, man. A Spider-Man, Miles. A Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. A Captain America, Sam Wilson. Like 3 times they're doing it, and they think they're doing the right thing. I'm so angry. Hey, can I vent about guns and the way that they don't work? And they're considered long-range weapons. So remember with the scene where she's actually twisting one of the tracksuits? We went to see Maroon 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, charming Marvel comedy and everything, but why do the tracksuit people wait till they get close to pull out their guns and shoot? Long range. You're a group. You're a tracksuits. Surely there's some sort of protocol or strategy that you guys have planned out, and you know that, okay, big guy, he's the one who goes close while we go over to our weapons. And then, after a 3-second tussle, it'll have just enough time where we can aim and we can shoot. They don't need to have everyone go up with their gun just to have it knocked out immediately afterwards. The way that guns work in here is very frustrating. When we get to the ice rink after Hawkeye was on the tree, mind you, I said Hawkeye, and every single one of you knew I was talking about Clint. Sorry, he drops down, he's in the ice. All the tracksuits pulled up. I don't know why they did not just shoot right immediately, but in comes Cade, put a little mist up, and Hawkeye uses that magnet arrow that I mentioned. Fine. Everyone no longer has a gun that's there, correct? Fine. They all come, they get served by the 2 of them. There is kind of scenes that show, more tracksuits are coming. If more tracksuits are coming, where are their guns? They were not magnetized. Okay, fine. Maybe they don't have guns. Maybe that they're the emergency recruits, the reinforcements, I mean. That's why they're here late. Fine. So he knocks out a couple of guys. There was one callback scene to Avengers where Hawkeye just shoots the arrow without looking. That man had a gun in his hand and he was in the ice rink. How did he get all the way to the ice rink without shooting that gun? If he was part of the reinforcements, he should have shot from up above. If he was part of the initial crew, his magnetic arrow should have kept it far away. He should not have a gun, but you just wanted to do a callback because all your mind was, we're going to do the scene that replicates what happened in Avengers 2012. When you're simply looking at fan service and not giving it logic, you screw up, and it comes at the cost of Chillmonger complaining about it on 2nd Street Marvel.
Hell yeah. And that works.
I feel the same way about the Jamie Foxx Miles Morales line too. All you wanted to do was hint at Miles. Right. It never crossed your guys' mind that the only way that they're supposed to be in this universe is the villain needs to know Peter Parker is Spider-Man in their universe. So for him to say, I thought Spider-Man would have been black. That means you didn't know it was Peter Parker. What are you doing in this universe? You just wanted to do a little line. That's why. Think logically, guys.
Right. Oh, what's this? We've got a $5 super chat from my man, Mike, licensed to shill Porter. It says, great stream, guys. Thanks, Trinity, for what you do here in independent comics. Thanks, Chill, for your knowledge. MCU rules. Yes. Thank you so much, Mike Porter.
Thank you for the positivity.
Yes, very much so. We greatly appreciate that, Mike Porter. And guys, we are going to do a community stream here. I actually wanted to do it yesterday. Life kind of got in the way yesterday, in a good way. And wasn't able to make it happen. But here over the next couple of days, guys, anybody out there watching this, rather now or on the replay, let me know down in the comments what works for you to do a community stream. You guys want to do it? Should we do it Friday? Christmas Eve? Do we need to do it on Christmas? Should we do it on Saturday? Or should we do it on Sunday?
I'm doing a burning question stream on Saturday. I didn't even realize it's Christmas, but the questions are written. We're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. We still need entertainment on these days. Not everybody's going to watch No Way Home this weekend, but we might.
No.
But so we'll do a community stream talking more about Spider-Man and all those kinds of things. And if you guys don't want any more Spider-Man spoilers or anything, I don't know. We're probably going to go into the maybe a little bit more into that in the show. I don't think we went too hard yet, did we? For the show, for the movie?
We mentioned the Spider-Men. Didn't go too hard.
Yeah. What were you watching? My man says dropping by to give the kid, to give the video a like. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, guys. If you don't know Ryan from What Were You Watching, you got to go check out his channel. He does very, very great movie reviews. Now, maybe not all the movies that you want to see, but definitely the movies that I've seen and want to see again once he highlights them in the way that he does. Absolutely great stuff. But yeah, so Spider-Man No Way Home. What were your thoughts on it? Any hot takes?
I'd say the movie was about the best spider thing I've seen, and of course, recency bias exists. But so far, I've just got it at the top of my spider ranking. It's like just what you make for fans, you know. And even the trailer stuff where does Doctor Strange really cast a spell? I don't understand why he would do that when Wong told him not to do that. They must have had reshoots because that was not an issue when I saw it. I completely blame Peter for saying, "What about Ned? Make Michelle, make Aunt May, make Happy. What about Happy?" And then it goes haywire. It was fine. The fighting looked great. The the nostalgia was done well. Just the sitting and talking. Yours an organic web shooter. Mine's is handmade. This isn't. I wanted to see them talk more. Remember at the statue when they put out the call? I think they hung up on J. Jonah Jameson, and they were just like stalling until the villain showed up. They could have talked for 5 more minutes, and I would not have minded.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think there was just so much in it, and like it's kind of hard not to say that it is like the best Spider-Man film, because they pretty much put all of their Spider-Man films into this one. And I feel it really did, and I know some people out there aren't liking it because they feel like what they're doing. What I like about it is, to me, they redeemed this MCU version of Spider-Man. Peter Parker, he is no longer Peter Starker. This is the Peter Parker that I'm used to seeing in the comic books. I feel like they kind of elevated this MCU Spider-Man in this sense, and what they did here in this movie. And through what he's experienced. Obviously, we've seen him go through so much in the first couple of movies, but this one right here, we finally do really see him start to stand on his own and doing his own thing. And by the end of it, I feel like they've redeemed him in that sense that this kid has gone through almost as much as Thor did. And we all remember what happened when Thor got crushed after Infinity War. We don't see that happening to Peter, and I think that's one thing. I'm not sure if a lot of people think about that, and we'll take that into context. But something I definitely think about is that when after seeing this, because he lost everybody, he lost his Aunt May, and no, he has literally nobody. Almost the same as Thor. I say almost the same as, because Thor literally lost all of his people, or well, at least half of them anyway. And the repercussions of that are all still there. But Peter lost those that are closest to him, where Thor lost a lot of loved ones and even half his people. So I think that's something that I don't think a lot of people are going to point out. But this kid has gone through a lot, and I think they really did redeem him in this film.
He was a Padawan. He faced the Jedi trials, and then he got with great power there must also come great responsibility from Aunt May. I guess he didn't get it from Uncle Ben. Okay. Now he's Spider-Man. He was Iron Boy Peter Starker before.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say, I still stand behind all the hating. But I know some people out there are disappointed in, because I'm not sure if you watch CGM, the CGM show. Deshaun over there, he's a pretty good channel. He does a lot of videos and stuff, just reviewing stuff. But one of the things he was like, he's like, and I've heard other people echo kind of the same thing, is, it's like, it's kind of this return to the status quo for Spider-Man. They're like, okay, just it's the same old same, and that's what everybody wants. But I really don't feel like this is the same old same what they did here with the character in this sense. But if you want to say it's Peter Parker being the lone character standing on his own, yeah, certainly. But I don't feel like he's the same Peter Parker necessarily that we know from the comics and everything as well. He's definitely or even the past movies. I think he's definitely more standalone. What about the old school suit at the end? I loved that I got to see that at least once. Mike Porter, yes. Believe me when I say the first time I seen that, that was one of the things I was happiest about, was just seeing the cloth and everything there by his little sewing machine where he was stitching it all up. That's what I would. That if they would have done that in the first movie, I might not even have griped about it as much as I did the past few years.
Well, it's completed. There will be a new toy for the next film.
Yes.
So that's all that means.
Ooh, you know, and that makes me want to ask, you know, like, why haven't we heard it? If you notice this, why haven't we heard all of the outrage? Like, how is Sony getting away with crediting at the very end of this movie, dedicated to Avi Arad, the original true believer, who made all these Spider-Man's films? And I'm like, no, you did not. No, you did not. And nobody's saying nothing about it.
That rings a couple alarms. Steve Ditko and Stanley is the correct people who are supposed to get that. That's what I think about that. Can I go where you're not going though? It's that. Do you remember the Los Angeles Clippers had the owner who said stuff that needed him to go? Remember that at all?
Oh yeah.
2011, roughly 2011, and then they sold the team because he was deemed unfit to own the NBA franchise. Can you hear background noise right now?
A little bit. It's not too bad.
Okay. His wife said, "This guy is not mentally fit. I own the team now." And they won that court case. And then she's like, "Cool, I own the team. I'm going to sell it to that Microsoft guy. Steve Ballmer is his name." And she said, part of this terms, and this is where it gets to Avi Arad, part of the terms is you must credit me as the super fan of the Clippers. You must give me the front seats for every game for perpetuity. And I get all these things. And that's why, like, her name would appear in things similar to how Avi Arad's name is in the end of that. Did Avi Arad just pull a Clippers? Did he just say, fine, I am worth this end credit in every movie. I get to show my family at Christmas, and this is going to be it for is that what he did? That's so lame. And I'm sorry I told a long ass story to get to that little punchline, but like, he is the Donald Sterling's wife of Marvel.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, and hats off. I mean, sure, Avi Arad, I mean, he's the guy who owned the company that wanted to make a bunch of toys and decided to make movies based on these toys and to get him to sell more. But like,
okay, true believer.
Yeah. I seen that credit at the end. I'm like, oh, like I was sitting there like, they seriously put that there? And like, I was even sitting there in the theater like, does nobody else know like what's going on here? And then I'm just so surprised that I haven't heard anything else out there about this. I mean, is it because maybe it's because of that narrative that everybody's out there to push now that it's Avi Arad who made this happen. It wasn't Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige is woke, just like the MCU, but we can look to Avi Arad and Rachel Dolezal, Amy Pascal to give us the movie that we need.
If it were up to Kevin Feige, Doctor Strange wouldn't he be in the movie? You should see this article. And the sad thing is, there is validity behind that statement, and you can't even shit on them because Kevin Feige did say those words.
Yes. I don't know, man. I don't know.
And that was a very good Rachel Dolezal joke about Amy Pascal. What's the story behind that? Is her hair naturally?
I don't know.
Yeah, because what if she's just been straightening her whole life, and today she was like normal?
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I just remember seeing that interview where she was there with Kevin Feige, and I'm like, man, I don't know. She looked like she owned one. She just jolly, having a good old, like, you gave her too many of those edibles. Too many.
The Daredevil interview.
Yeah.
The Charlie Cox interview. Yeah.
She had too many edibles before that interview, man. Oh, man. Okay, we got Skip and Tosh has just popped by to show some love, fellas. Nice. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Skip and Tosh.
Hello.
Let's see. I can't say I've really got much else as far as this episode is concerned. Anything else? Any last thoughts or anything you want to share about the show?
Probably. Let me look at my notes. No, I think I did touch on everything, and not in order, but I did touch on literally everything, even the bearded guy who was saying, "I'm gonna take my girl to Maroon 5." Yeah, is Maroon 5 cool?
Not, I mean, I don't listen to Maroon 5, but that's just me.
Oh, the whistle. I'm happy I watched Black Widow a couple times and I recognized the
Mm-hmm.
whistle. So I didn't need them to explain that to me, and they did. For fans, I guess, who didn't know, that was cool.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I think I'm just a little disappointed by, she's supposed to be this killer and out to kill Clinton. It just, like, none of that really happened. Seemed like she was being
Mhm.
soft the whole time. Kind of brought the widows a bad
Hey,
name.
Kate went harder on Kingpin. Kate went harder when she activated that like thing that gave him an arrow soup. That was much more difficult than what Yelena did. Yelena was like, "You're not really about that. You wanted to talk, didn't you? You wanted to be talked down. That's
Right.
all." And Hawkeye never hugs her. He kept his distance. You don't really know who she is. She probably could need a hug, but we were just throwing punches at each other. We're not going to do that. So good on Clint Barton keeping it very unintimate. I don't think there was a scene where Clint hugs Kate either.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah, I
on
don't think
purpose.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think
good
so.
for them.
Yeah.
But she got that hug from the wife right when was a Mockingbird enters the home and hugs her. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
What's with this double standard? What's the agenda? Why can't the women do it?
Mike Porter says Amy's hair was wilder than Carrot Top. Yes, it was.
Hey, is
It
there
was.
something you want to tell me, Mike Porter? You got something against
Oh,
hair?
the hair's down. Yeah, I was gonna say you've had your hair pretty wild, bro. You've had your hair pretty wild before. But you're not heckling like Amy Pascal is though.
Hey, I don't know her DNA. Maybe I told you she could naturally be this way. I was like, oh shit, that's Amy Pascal.
Yeah.
Rachel Doza.
Yes. But what do you have coming up, Chillmonger? Anything you got up?
On Saturday, I got that 33 burning MCU questions. A Black Panther issue number 2 review just went up for this comic book. I chat about that for like 14 minutes, and is what else is coming up. There's more things coming up, but keep tuned. I do talk Marvel on people's other channels, not just Trinity, but on other people's channels. Follow me on Twitter to keep in the know. It's Chillmonger with 2 R's. Thank you for having me for this last 6-week experiment that we've been experienced. Excuse me. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, absolutely, guys. Thank you all so much for being here. Chillmonger, thanks again for coming on to talk about this stuff. We definitely need to get together some more. We definitely will when the next series comes up as well. And you know what? One of these days, you might do a stream that's not on a Saturday morning when I'm busy doing stuff and I can't do more than just listen in. So one of these days we'll get together on your channel. I swear.
Yeah. Or you can move to the East Coast. Either or.
Nah. It's just as bad on the East Coast as it is here on the West Coast, I think. There is no safe place. But thank you so much for being here. Like I said, we definitely got to get together more often. And thank all of you viewers for being here as well. If you're not already, please make sure you subscribe. Click the little bell and all of that good stuff. Give this video a thumbs up if you like. Give it a thumbs down if you don't. But it's okay. It won't hurt my feelings because YouTube won't tell me. But while you're at it, make sure that you share it with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the 2nd Street Marvel and over on Chillmonger's channel. You all have a good day, and we'll see you in the next
Later.
video. Later.